Worshipping women appears to be the default setting in Western civilization. As a result, if you are raised as a male in Western civilization, you will be trained in certain ways. You will accept certain beliefs and practices and exhibit certain habits. And you'll know you'll be prosecuted, denied food, and won't make it if you don't. And this is a traditional way of thinking with traditional values, and don't expect to get out of it easily. Don't expect to be able to go your own way at a young age because you will adopt the values of the community in which you are raised. It's understandable to want to get along and get in front of a society that largely has a traditional mindset and worships women, because it's worshiping creation, and this becomes what we equate with beauty and manhood for the men. Men adore women, they worship women, they want to be with women, and they want to sacrifice for women. This is almost like a biological process for them. This is part of knowing what motivates you. This is why skyscrapers exist. This is why bridges exist. This is why you have these inventions, because men are creative. They want to make the world more acceptable to women. And they want to gain status among the women in order to find a mate. That is clear. Women must be able to compete with men and feel good about their accomplishments. They're glamorizing and making a merit out of the woman's weakness, which you know is an inversion of values. So you brought women up to the level of men, but it's not true. It's a lie. When you organize your society in this way, you pay the price by having men elevate women and female qualities. The women, out of some need to inflate their own ego, started making a virtue out of their weaknesses in the social environment, because you can't insult the womb and you can't find mistakes with the women. What is happening to free speech and the values that determine what is good, what is virtue, and what we want to pursue is terrible. And the students are trying to run the school and they don't want to do any schoolwork, and you're causing them social harm. It is discrimination to make them do their homework. So away all the attributes that make anyone exceptional and everyone becomes average. It is based on men wanting to please women and romanticizing their frailty. It's similar to rewarding students who do the least amount of work, so that at the end, when it comes time for people who are supposed to be doctors and lawyers, they're actually incompetent when they graduate. They are powerless. Perhaps you're hearing this as a guy, as a MGTOW, and you're thinking, well, that's good to know, but that doesn't apply to me. This is a social pattern. But it does. As if you were a fish in water. This is the water we swim in. These are the hunting grounds where we get our food. And while some of you may think I'm being unfair to women, consider this. You have a group of engineers working on a rocket to Mars, and you start allowing women into their group as support staff, and women begin to outnumber men. They'll start to act as if the most important thing in that group is to look after everyone's feelings, and they'll completely forget about constructing that Mars rocket ship. What if you were going through that on a societal level? Everyone is pretty much the same. Nobody's truly better than anyone else, and we're just getting started because we want to give everyone a passing grade and a diploma in surgery because we wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Oh, you were unable to do your homework? We will still award you a diploma. So do you see how this worship of women, this desire to make everyone happy and equal, is a worship of weakness? And it's not healthy. As you can see, nature and the environment do not work like that. You don't survive in the real world if you're not strong enough and don't have the necessary skills. Nature does not operate in the manner of worship, but as tool builders. As a civilized society, as MGTOW, we can build it. We constructed it, after all. So we'll pretend that women, the helpless, the dependent, the useless, and the lazy are just as good as the powerful, capable man. Being a man is an adaptive process of conquering real-world obstacles. So you see how man develops strength in dealing with reality and overcoming obstacles, and how this is the evolutionary process. Only the strongest will survive. Then we become powerful enough to control the environment, and we come to worship sensuality, the satisfaction of material desires and needs. You can see how we overcame the physical environment's challenges. That's how capable we are as men, and that's what we've done as MGTOW. As a species, we begin to indulge and our values begin to invert. Worshipping what brings us pleasure and avoiding what causes us difficulty is a sign of weakness. As a result, we become progressively weaker in every aspect of our social and personal lives. So the worship of women and the worship of weakness, as well as the inversion of these values, is the path to death and destruction.